AM 630. WMAL.
8:37 on WMAL, where Washington comes to talk. It's Brian Wilson in with Tori Clark today. Brian Neiman will be back tomorrow, taking the day off. And we are joined on the phone by Congressman Buck McKeon, Republican from California. Also happens to be the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. Congressman, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing very well. Thank you for joining us here on our little program. Want to start out, we're going to get into a lot of things that have to do with House Armed Services Committee, but you attended recently a closed-door briefing with the Secretary of Defense, Leon Panetta, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the topic was about these national security leaks that so many people have been concerned about. And you sort of emerged from that meeting and you made the following observation. You said, I'm fairly certain that the leaks did not come from within the Pentagon. Can you elaborate on why you feel that way, having heard the assurances you got behind closed doors?
Well, Brian, you've been around town there a long time, and you know that as long as we have stories to tell and reporters that want to tell those stories, we're going to have leaks. And you also know that some of those leaks you can tell if somebody's really just doing it on their own or if they've been kind of directed to leak something. And the way it came out in the hearing, I felt fairly confident that these leaks were coming more out of the White House than out of the Pentagon.
Can you elaborate as to why you feel that way?
I can't. It was a closed briefing, and I can't tell you other than that I just felt fairly confident that was the case.
But when you come out and say, I'm fairly confident based on what I've just heard, well, is it safe to suggest that what we should draw from that is that you heard testimony that was rather convincing to you?
Yes. I went on a night exercise with SEAL Team 6 way before we got Osama bin Laden. And I was told that they don't exist, that you shouldn't talk about them. And then when I saw the president on television telling all about Team 6 and how they took down Osama bin Laden, I mean, that's kind of indicative to me that things were coming out of the White House. Now, the president can do and say what he wants, but just because he talks about something that's classified does not declassify the information, but it does get it out.
All right, so where does this leave us? What is your greatest concern about these leaks?
Well, one thing that I was concerned about was that they, in the hearing or the briefing, we learned that they have put into place processes whereby they'll be able to monitor leaks and try to shut off leaks. I was concerned that they hadn't done that prior, but I felt good the fact that they are now moving forward on positive steps to stop that. The danger of leaks is that many of them cause us to lose people. They cause us to have allies that are willing to help us. It shuts off those opportunities. For instance, the doctor in Pakistan that's now in prison that helped us, that information never should have come out.
Hey, Congressman Tori Clark here, and thanks for joining us this morning, so we know how busy you are, in particular this week. But to stay on these leaks for a minute, I mean, I, for one, just think most people don't have enough of a sense of the consequences of this. Lives are lost, people are put at risk, operations are put at risk because of these leaks. And I'm the first one to say leaks did not start with this administration, but the extent of the leaks and the level of detail to the leaks goes way beyond anything we've seen before. And I just think somebody, and I think it comes to Congress, has got to take a hard look at this and say, why is it happening? Who's responsible? And then looking forward, say, what are we going to do to reduce the leaks that do come out of administrations, Pentagons, etc.? And I mean, I, for one, think that we way overclassify things, and so we end up doing a poor job of protecting all the information. If you neck down that information that we classified, we might do a better job of protecting that information.
You're right on, Tori. That the consequences are very severe, and this administration didn't start leaking. This has happened forever. But think they have taken it to a new high, and there's feeling that some of these leaks actually have been put out there to enhance the president's position, to show that he's strong on defense, while just the opposite is happening. I think that what we need to look at is why they're doing the leaks. How can you possibly stop them? And the reason for it is to protect our people and to protect our information and help us to carry out our missions. So it is a very important subject, and it came out in the briefing that they're not the first, and that we need to clear it up. So
I've got about a minute left, and I just got to hit you on another topic: sequestration. It does appear that we're headed toward that, and everybody continues to say that if that happens, it's just going to be devastating for the Pentagon. Your thoughts on that, very quickly?
Well, people need to understand that we have put defense on the table, that we've cut $500 billion out of defense starting in the October 1st budget, but the sequestration will fall on top of that and cut another $500 to $600 billion out of the defense. So we're looking at, over the next 10 years, cutting $100 billion a year. And the fact that the administration is not telling us the consequences, that they're just kind of ignoring it. There's only one person that's elected by everybody in the country, and that's the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief. He may feel that the Congress isn't doing their job. We in the House have passed a bill that would pay for sequestration the first year. The Senate has done nothing. And if the Commander-in-Chief does not step in and do something, provide some leadership, on January 2nd, the Pentagon will be frozen. Everything they buy is on contract, and those contracts will all be null and void. And the military will, I don't know how they're going to function.
Yeah.
I think the Pentagon is just going to basically shut down.
Very, I just need a yes or no answer here, because we're really way over on time. The bunker buster bomb is said to be ready. Do you have confidence that our military could do what it needed to do in Iran if asked to do it?
I hope so.
Okay. Congressman Buck McKeon, Chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Tori.